Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Freelancers Tea Break, the short and sweet podcast you can enjoy whilst you're having a cuppa. I asked in the Facebook group and the Discord group, the Freelance Lifestylers, if you're in, what they'd like to hear, or what would like to hear. And one of the options was my current tech stack. And quite a few people said yes. So talk about it today. If you don't know what a tech stack is, it's basically all the tech that you use in your business. And mine actually has been quite consistent for a few years now, which as someone with ADHD just shocks me, the core. But it also means that they're quite good tools to share with you. So I'm going to share, let's start with Dubsado. Dubsado I've been using for years, probably about 10 years, I think now. It is a great tool. So it's like my onboarding tool. So I can schedule people's, like I could send them to my scheduler. And from the scheduler, they then can payment, they can receive their contract, they can receive an onboarding questionnaire. There's also a portal if I ever want to put things in there. Although actually I use Google Drive. I can also send follow-up emails with testimonial requests, things like that. And it nudges me for these sorts of things. It's just really handy. It just makes it so much easier than if I want to book someone in, and that might be booking them in as a boxer or a coaching client. But also, I've got one where I can send out my podcast guest link. People can book in that way. So there's lots of ways that I can use Dubsado, and it's still improving and still adding new features. But it is so useful being able to streamline the onboarding processing. So that is what I use for onboarding, and I'll forward you a little bit as well. For all my courses, I use Podia. I moved to Podia from Teachable, I think about 3 or 4 years ago. I really like it, but it's just such a useful tool. It's easy to drag and drop. My main issue with it is that there's no app, which would be lovely. I did like the Teachable app, but they weren't supporting it very well. And to be honest, having seen Teachable upping their prices again, I'm very glad that I've moved to Podia. But it's a great tool for uploading all of my courses, freebies, webinars, anything like that. It felt like the right decision at the time, and it continues. I have also touched recently on Discord, so that obviously something I'm now using in my business more as an alternative to the Facebook group. Facebook group is still going, but the Discord is an alternative option if Facebook is for you, and I love it. It's just so fun. There's some great conversations in there, and I'm going to really playing around with things, and I really want to add a networking option, which I hopefully will soon. So Discord is great. Also, I haven't mentioned the prices of some of these. I'll put them in the links because I can't remember off the top of my head. Dubsado is not too bad. And Podia isn't too bad. But Discord is free. So that would probably think I should mention some prices. Next up is Sunsama. Again, this is another paid tool, but there's a free trial that you can do. I love Sunsama. I'm extremely passionate about it. So Sunsama, I open up and it has my emails, it has my calendar, it has my to-do list. And basically I can take my emails, drag them into my to-do list, and then assign them a day or a time. And then that's decided then that's when I'm going to be working in that situation. So I don't have to keep going back to my to-do list and think, what do I tackle now? I know it's in my calendar. I just follow the flow of the day. And it does things like it tells me at the end of each day and each week what percentage of time I've spent on different tasks because you've got tags in there. I love that it now uses a bit of AI to work out, because it can sync with my emails and things like that. Like it can tell me what emails I've responded to and what I've done. And I can even add in like a little summary of how I felt it went. So yeah, I really love Sunsama. It's made my life a lot easier because I hate dealing with my emails, and being able to drag an email out of my inbox where it then gets archived. Like you can change the settings. I like it to be archived, and then put it as a task so that I know what the action is to take on it, and then putting that action in my calendar makes life a lot easier. And it's not necessarily business tools, but I think I've mentioned in the past anyway, but Speaking Email and Speechify I both find very useful when I am struggling with my emails. Speaking Email is really handy if I've got like loads of, when I came back from the Easter holidays recently, I had loads and loads of emails in my newsletter folder, and I could just let Speaking Email work through them. So it reads out what the title is, and then I can say whether I want to archive, delete, forward, or move on to the next one, or it will read the rest of the email to you. And it's just a much faster way. So you can do it all verbally. You could do it in the car, I think. But yeah, I usually do it if I'm just sitting with a cuppa. Actually, yeah, to be completely honest, there are times when I have to get through a really boring email, not email, newsletter, just a lot of newsletters that I need to decide what to do with. I will go on the Nintendo and have speaking email playing them, and then I just say delete whatever and work through them that way. But that's really useful. Featurefy also reads out longer emails and documents, which I find really useful as someone that works better for listening. And I think both of those are free. You can pay something for Speechify. I think if you want more voices and stuff. And the other tech stack, I suppose, for me is I use Slack with my team. So we use that to keep in touch, any kind of group calls or anything like that. That all happens in Slack. It's nice and easy, really easy to see where everything is. And we've also started using more of the canvas on there, which is almost like Google Docs almost. So the team will put in like social media posts and things like that when I need to schedule them. And it makes it a lot easier to have it all in one place. I think that's the main ones I'm using at the moment. I use Sunsama every day. Oh, Notion. Notion I use for everything. I am enjoying playing around with some of the AI elements of it. So yeah, Notion I use every single day and week in my business, just to go through, track what everyone's, like all the stats, where I'm at with all my clients, tracking access to work payments, all that kind of thing. So yeah, Notion is another one that you can just start out for free with. If I was going to just start out for free, Slack I would say is fantastic because you can communicate with the team without having, or with a client without having to pay for anything. Notion, free, you don't need to do anything like that. And Notion, although it doesn't sync with emails and things like that, it's great for task management and things like that. And there is an element you could do of onboarding through Notion as well. I know my friend Sam from Create Better Things has done some incredible things in terms of onboarding clients and quoting clients and things like that. So I highly recommend going and following her if you'd like to know a bit more about that. And that's basically it. There's lots of other tools I use around things. I use Voxer. I'm recording these in Descript. But I would say for running my business, those are kind of the cool ones. But if there's anything you want to know about in particular with an app or tool, I love apps and tools, and I've tried so many of them. So if there's something you're struggling with in your business and you need a system or an app to help with it, let me know, and I'd love to be able to help you find the right one. So that's it for this week. I hope you have a wonderful freelance week.